We might be at the wrong spot. There's no one here.
Lucullus is clearly mistaken. If there was someone here, I would know.
That's a very useful skill.
Hey, don't move.
Calm down. I am Julius Calidus of the Occulta Speculatores of Legio Prima Italica. I presume you are my reinforcements. The only way I can think of to destroy a navy on foot is to burn it down. Some Greek fire sure would be useful for that, wouldn't you say? Conveniently, there is a whole warehouse full of it right down there. Unfortunately, the moment we move into that warehouse, they will sound the alarm. So, we should be quick. By the time anyone comes from the city, we're long gone. There's a small camp of sentries just down this hill. If we hit them first, they won't show up as reinforcements.
But then the ones inside the warehouse will hear the fighting and be ready for us.
You have touched the matter with a needle. The choice is yours, Prime. Be careful with those jars. The liquid inside is highly volatile. It'll make quick work of those ships. This was the easy part. Now we have to sneak into the harbor and burn the ships.
And then we have to sneak back out, one supposes.
Not necessarily, but ideally.
I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we would all like to retain our lives.
We made it here unnoticed. So far, so good. Now we just need to get through that gate with the Greek fire. Just one guard. Let's you and I go up there and deal with him, Prime. Indeed. We'll see what our options are once we're atop the wall.
We will meet you down on the docks. Good luck.
Good. The ships are moored quite close to each other. Fire will spread easily. This part of the docks appears to be infrequently patrolled. Getting to the ships shouldn't be a problem. Let's signal to the others to move the Greek fire crate as close as they can to the galleys.
At once, Prime. Let's go.
I guess we have a couple of different options for how to get this party started. We could lob a pot of Greek fire onto the deck of that nearest galley from the pier below. That would give us a head start on our main objective. Or those three guards look half asleep. I'm sure we could take them out the same way I handled this guy here. That means less enemies to fight. I can see the merit of both plans. Let's regroup with the others and then decide.
Are we ready?
We are. How do you want to do this?
Good. We have the advantage right now since they don't even know we're here. The less guards we have to fight, the better our chance of getting out of this alive.
Sneaking around and stabbing soldiers in the back. Is this how we fight? I say we toss a few fire jars onto the deck of this galley here.
Slow and steady wins the race. Come on.
That's close enough. What do you want? Why? It really isn't. No offense, but information is the most dangerous thing in my line of work. The less you know about me, the better it is for both of us. A few seasons. Lucullus has a knack for recognizing talent. He immediately saw me for what I was. A killer. I am not. Rome is a place of stasis and passivity. Here, I feel alive. Sure, as long as I'm not in Rome. Imagine a door that is locked. And imagine you need to open that locked door, preferably discreetly. But someone else has the key. Now, you can always smash the door into pieces with a great hammer. Sure, that works too. Or we find out whoever's holding the key and kill him. Why? Are you going to remember my birthday? Some people just don't like to talk about themselves. Please don't take this sickness. This is not the time to talk about that! I had a feeling you knew about it. I just couldn't figure out why you didn't bring it up. I didn't mean to pull you into my deception. I just wanted to give you a little more time to earn my trust. Don't give me that overbearing tone. All the obstacles I faced, I conquered as a man. The only tricky part was not being found out.
It's about time you two met.
I could never have maintained the deception for so long without the consul's help.
I was shocked at first, but Calida had more than proven her worth by the time she revealed the truth to me.
I can't say this comes as a surprise. I figured you had your reasons to keep the secret, so I played along.
By all the gods, you are a great woman.
Ah, wonderful. It's turning into a whole thing.
When this war is over, I will court you. You and I will produce strong children.
I will attempt to take that as a compliment. I really am sorry I had to lie to you all. If you can find it in your hearts to forgive me, I will be honest with you from now on. You too, Legate. Truly.
You have every right to feel betrayed. But I want you to keep Julia Calida in your contubernum. Militarily, you're an irreplaceable asset together.
For what it's worth, I want to stay.
I'll leave you two to catch up. I have an invasion to plan.
I like you better in Roman armor. But the uniform fits you, at least. You sound like the boys back home. They said Mithridates had 300,000 men. Seeing this, I believe it. If we make even one mistake, we may not have a choice. Sorry, we'll be fine. Just let me handle the sentries.
Oh there, scouts. Has your journey been long?
To tatter us with your passphrase, Lokagos. We've been far afield for near a month. You think we've kept up with your latest codes?
Don't run your mouth at me. It takes a passphrase to enter camp, and I don't make exceptions.
I guess this is where I tell you to go talk to my superior to sort this out, but I don't think either of us wants to drag the Strategos out here, nor do I want to wait in the heat while you get him. Why don't we just skip the theater so we can get a bath and you can go back to your dice game? I offer you this bottle of fine Sicilian wine to wash away whatever guilt you might feel for such minor dereliction of duty.
This is a fine vintage.
They look like good people to me. And that does look like a good wine. I say let them through.
Very well. Go on in. But it's not because of the wine.
Of course not, Locagos. Good luck with the dice. About the same. Except now I'm responsible for keeping you alive as well. It's not something I'm good at, you know? Keeping people alive. Really? I was just following directions. This grand assault kind of action is not really my thing. I don't like improvising. The results tend to be ugly. Wasn't really my choice. It was a matter of survival. Yulia is a little girl who spends all her time being pretty. She eventually becomes the wife of a wealthy senator, and that will be her grandest achievement. I don't want to be the center of attention. I want to be in control of my life and other people's lives. I think deep down, I always was, Julius. Thank you for leaving the decision to me. Few people do that. What can I do for you?
It's better than the bathhouses.
The way she looks at everything with those big eyes. She's not trying to fool anyone, you know? She really is that innocent. She's a fighter, that's for sure, but she's not a killer, I think. She needs to be fighting for something. It's good to have another woman traveling with us, I must admit. It's good that you found the evidence you wanted. I wish it didn't mean Mithridates can just run with his tail between his legs as soon as we strike. Hey. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. I appreciate that, but I'd better not. I don't want to depend on someone else. I've seen how badly that can turn out. But I appreciate the offer, really. Doubtful, but I'll keep it in mind. Not really. I like it better out there. All right. It's just, in there I have to be someone else. Out here, I'm just Julius Calidus. I like being Julius Calidus. Never mind. Good weather, nice food. What's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too. I wouldn't count on anything. Those Vitellius bastards are slippery. Expect the unexpected.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Deanira.
Calida is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Bright red. A bright color of warning. A predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Deanira.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always?
Maybe. I have spent so much time here. Some places cannot be left, Calida. They live inside you wherever you go.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us!
Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. Only I can speak for our family now.
Kill whom?
Accident! It was an accident! When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Innocent? I can't even recognize you. My sister was a kind and happy person who always... That you did, didn't you? In return, it was always you who was beaten. That wasn't fair. But life isn't. Very well. I will try to convince Mother. We're leaving, men. Yulia, stay out of sight.
You handled that very well.
Why did he leave? Yet it looks like he doesn't know how.
It arrived just after noon. The rider insists on giving the message to you. It appears this woman was instructed to meet you here as well.
The proconsul just told me to find you. Said you'd know why. I've been tempted to come back and visit you a few times. Things just always got in the way.
The message, please.
I'm not tired. I'm just angry. Very angry. Don't worry. I am focused as well. I think these are two separate questions. It is clear these killers were Egyptian. They took no care to obscure their identities. Their weapons are just lying around, and the murder weapon is clearly Egyptian. Honestly, the only thing that's missing here is a graffito saying Egyptians killed Lucullus. These people were in a great hurry. My guess is they quickly dispatched anyone who posed a threat, then got ready for our arrival. They had no reason to waste time killing the Serwi. Too much risk for no gain at all. I will be. Eventually. How are you holding up? There's no doubt. I'm not worried about that. I just want to be the one who collects that debt. Around. Here and there. Anywhere but Rome. I don't mind the city. It's the people in it I have trouble with. I wanted to, but I always delayed the voyage. And now it is too late. I guess no one can run away from time. I like Africa, though. The bright sun gives me a reason to keep my hood down, and the heat masks movement. Certainly, but I'm not sure it was meant for us. That would imply a grand strategy and some serious thought. This level of sloppiness, though? I think our arrival may have disrupted certain things. Just continue doing our thing. Kick some stones over and see what crawls out. Of course not. And you'd be a fool if your intention is to place your trust in her. That woman is a predator. Without a doubt, she's using you. Do not fall for her tricks. Try to get as much use out of her as she does of you. It's lucky we arrived during this festival, or whatever it is. We have all of the important people in one place. But keep in mind, this is their land. The Court of Heaven is an uncontrolled hub of activity. There's no telling who comes and goes and what their intentions are. I'll see if there's any wildlife around here to hunt. You really sound like you could use a fresh meal tonight. I do miss not having to worry so much about water. And this place could certainly use more shade. It's nice to explore such a different terrain, though. I guess I get bored easily if I don't have some kind of challenge in front of me. I'm sure you know what I mean. You seem to seek out challenges as well. I guess I tend to stay within my comfort zone most of the time. I've figured out what kind of thing I like to do, and I won't let anything get in the way of me doing that. You're a vintner, a commander, a diplomat, a soldier, a spy. I wonder if there's anything you can't do. I've never meant to intimidate you. That's just how I come across sometimes, I guess. Not a very clean kill. You should have probably just let me handle it. If you want to impress me, just let me do what I'm good at. If you want, I can take over if you get tired. It was nice to have company for once, but I think I prefer to go hunting alone. It's nothing against you. I just like the solitude. I know. It's not that I'm not interested. I just never really know what to say when you compliment me. It's difficult for me to see myself the way you see me, sometimes. I know you mean well, but are you sure you know what you're getting yourself into? That's a lot. I need time to think. We'll talk later.
I hear you have formed an intimate relationship with Yulia Calida. Are you altogether sure that is wise? Very well. I do not wish to plant doubt in your heart. Just guard yourself a little for the time being, please. There are still things we do not know about her.
We've all been wondering when you and Calida would get together. Glad it happened, at long last. Just, please, look out for her. She's put a lot of trust in you.
They're against us.
If I had known Calida had eyes for you, I would not have pursued her back in the day. I hope there are no hard feelings between us.
What do Nazamonians care about serving Rome?
There was nothing to handle. It simply was what it was.
Calida has been brooding a lot less lately. I wonder why that is. Take care with her, Legate. She's more fragile than she seems.
Hey there, lover boy. You'd best believe it. It took a lot for me to open up like that, you know. This is just the beginning. But seriously, I'm really happy we did that. Thank you for being patient with me. You're not so bad yourself. So, just to make sure we're on the same page, this is a long-term thing, right? You're not going to forget about me as soon as Cleopatra flutters her eyelashes at you? Weird. But I love you too. I don't think Nazarmones is on our side. I'd watch out for Lunya. She turned out to be unusually helpful. This kind of help usually comes with a price. Let's make sure it's one we'll be willing to pay. Last time we stood here with a legion, we had Lucullus with us. I know he was your Patronus, but the man was like a father to me. We will. I will. I hate to be back in this shithole of shit. To you, probably. You're back home as a victorious commander, and I'm back home as... not myself. I don't know yet. There's a lot I need to take care of. Aww, that warms my cold black heart. I'm not really sure about that. We have denied Lurko the control of Egypt, but we also made him look like a hero. Let us hope you're right, for everyone's sake. It's tempting. I can't say it wouldn't be nice to have a home here again. With you. Let me try to clean out some of the skeletons in my closet first. Then, if everything works out somehow, we can talk about this again.
I wish I could say I was just dropping by for a cordial visit. However, I was in fact asked to come here by your friend. Yulia Calida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
That's right, you told me.
There he is, the man of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know? Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Sort of. People were looking for me, and I was on the run. I could have found other places to hide, but I chose the Legion because the life appealed to me. Then Lucullus, he saw me for what I truly was. And he allowed me to be that person. That was the first time I experienced freedom. And freedom to die on my own terms. Knowing that whatever happens to me is because of my decisions. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I was the one who decided to involve you in this mess. You deserve the full story. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. Hey, not fair. But... I don't know. Am I a woman who kills her husbands? Is this who I am?
So far, you've killed only one husband. I believe statistically speaking, that counts as an outlier.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... pretty much. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. I never know what to do when I'm in Rome. There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Cicero to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal.
What?
True. Of course, it doesn't matter legally if you're married or not. But correct me if I'm wrong, it's Calida's family who stands as her accusers. The reason for their outrage doesn't seem to be the untimely death of her late husband, but her refusal to remarry to someone equally wealthy and powerful. If you get married to each other, though, well, you are certainly wealthy and your political star is clearly rising.
This is not the way I imagined you'd ask the question, but, of course I want this.
An unexpected solution to the problem. Congratulations. Have a happy marriage.
Hey, sunshine. He got himself declared dictator, and now he's on a mission to avenge the innocent, helpless, yet honorable citizens of Rome. He will conquer Gallia, make the barbarians pay for the things they did, and return home to be hailed as a hero of the people. You are a loose end. The final annoying wrinkle in his plan. And people die in wars, you know? I grew up with stories of Gallia and its savage warriors, of their irresistible ruggedness and, oh, so romantic, barbaric ways. My mother had an affair with a Gallic gladiator, and as usual, she was full of shit. I've never been to Gallia before, but after everything I've been through, I don't think I can be disappointed. Listen, I would never have won my freedom without Cicero's help, and Cicero would never have helped me if not for you. There's no place I'd rather be right now than by your side, helping to keep you alive, and to knowingly place her in dangerous situations time and time again. The consensus in Rome would certainly be that you are a terrible husband, but you know me. I wouldn't have it any other way. Hey, sunshine. It's your job to forge and maintain alliances. It's my job to scout ahead and gather information so that we don't blunder into our deaths. The real blame for this mistake lies with me. I'm just grateful that by some miracle we got out of there alive. I certainly hope so, because our survival this time was a once-in-a-lifetime stroke of good fortune. This is a bad idea. Last time I saw Lurko, he was angry, but he was not in a panic. There's another trick up his sleeve. I'm certain of it. There is always a way. The years I've spent with you taught me that over and over again. It's what I would do. Lurko is a dangerous foe because he knows exactly when to lie and when to tell the truth. He will tell the Senate that we have murdered his entire Praetorian Guard. You know that's not a lie. I've seen no evidence to suggest the man has one. People will still be able to oppose you. And this time you'll have to kill a lot of people, not just those who deserve it. This time, our victims will be Roman. I'm good at killing people, and you somehow keep attracting people in need of killing. What I've done for you still seems less than what you've done for me.
You've been dreaming of this since the day your father died. It doesn't matter if you kill me. In fact, I'm content. You are clearly a better choice to lead Rome. It seems the part I intended my role to be in molding the first emperor of Rome. When I am dead, your reign will begin.
It's finally over. It almost seems unreal. Yeah. Maybe now we can stop looking over our shoulder. I've supported you not just because you're my friend, but because I believed the only way to save the Republic was to commit terrible deeds. And our deeds have been terrible. There's one thing you get to decide for yourself now. Remember what we discussed? Well, we got what we wanted. Now we have to lay down our arms and turn ourselves in.
Are you stupid? Did you hit your head in battle? We will all be killed.
Not all of us. He will probably be condemned to death indeed, but we will not be punished as harshly.
We should not get punished at all. We should take over Rome and live like kings.
The Anira is right. Surrender will only lead to execution.
But, Magister, surely morals dictate that he should surrender. Doing anything else would be immoral, and thus make him a lesser man.
He is like my own child. He would be a lesser man, but a man who is alive.
They will not just let us go. We all attacked.
Well, I certainly do not want to be executed.
May I remind you what you have just said about the expected behavior of a moral individual?
I don't consider myself a particularly moral man yet.
I don't care about the philosophy of it. If you stay here, more people will die and the chaos will never end. We don't have to turn ourselves in if you're afraid of the consequences. We can simply leave. Please don't do this. I love you, but surely we did not stop a would-be king only to replace him with another. I love you. If you truly believe this is the right thing to do, then I stand by you.
Good. Your love is stronger than all this.
So it was that the Republic of Rome, which had long rested on an unsteady foundation, was finally torn to the ground. From the rubble rose a new, strong empire. Though the institution of the Senate was maintained for centuries to come, all power was stripped from it and granted almost in full to the new ruler of Rome. From lost scion to legionarius to legatus, and finally to emperor. The first citizen of Rome had broken with all traditions and betrayed the faith of many during his meteoric rise to power. But as much as those who once held power now loathed their new ruler, he was greatly beloved by the people of Rome, for whom life universally improved under his rule. As he built Rome up from a regional power to an empire spanning the continent, he came to be revered almost like a god. Calida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. With her beloved husband committed to letting her live her best life, she was happy to settle down by his side, supporting him in his endeavors as he supported her. Calida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits.
This is the right choice. We continue. Onwards to new adventures.
I'll make the arrangements, Domine. As you wish. Let us leave at once.
There are some who say it was a sudden change of heart that turned a would-be tyrant from his throne. Most accept the common story. A man pushed to his very limit by the machinations of a corrupt consul. A republic on the brink of becoming an empire, vulnerable to the ambitions of unscrupulous men. A desperate, unlawful action that saved the Republic at the cost of one man's career and reputation. Although in one sense the legatus never returned to Rome, in another, greater sense, he never left. With his earth-shaking actions, he had set Rome upon a course that would guide it through history for centuries to come. It is said that he retired to a villa in Cisalpine Gallia. He remained in touch with those of his friends in the Senate who still stood by his side. He lived a long and peaceful life in the republic he had saved. Even though it began in exile, Calida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. Away from the rigid society of Rome, she flourished with her new husband. Together they traveled far and wide, and had many more adventures, until they found a place they liked enough to settle down. Calida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits.
Turn ourselves in, if you're... Please don't do this. I love you, but surely we did not stop a would-be king only to replace him with another.
I admire your principled stance, Domine. But do you understand the consequences? They are likely to execute you. Are you sure you want to do this?
Don't do this, please. I feel like I just found you. We can just leave. Together.
I understand.
I don't understand, and I never will. But this is your choice. So be it.
You have made the moral choice. You are a greater man as a consequence. I still am not as great as you. If they kill you, I will kill them.
It does not end here. I will not let it happen.
It seems unfathomable that a man would go to such lengths to seize power, only to turn away from it at the last moment and willingly give up his life. Was it guilt that drew him to throw himself at the mercy of the Senate? Or was it principle? After all, if all he cared about was keeping the Republic safe from unscrupulous men, that goal had been achieved. Whatever his reasoning, after his surrender, all blame for the invasion of Rome was placed squarely at his feet. His companions and allies, and the soldiers of his legion, thus escaped condemnation and punishment. Following his execution, a time of great turmoil swept across Rome. The short but bloody civil war had exposed the fragility and the injustice of the Republic, and discontented mobs seized this opportunity to rise up and demand change. As the power of the Senate crumbled, so did the Republic. Rome fell, never again to rise as the global power that it had seemed destined to become. Devastated by the loss of her beloved, Calida left Rome in grief. She felt haunted by her past misdeeds, cursed to never find love and happiness again. She traveled north into Gallia, where she settled into a new life of hunting and forestry. In time, she did become happy there. She even found a new man to love, one who treated her well, who loved her for who she was, and who would never sacrifice what they had together for politics or ideals.
Traitor to the Republic! Murderer of Romans! Enemy of the people! I have had your co-conspirators arrested, and they are patiently waiting for their moment of execution. But my own patience is wearing thin. I know villains like you do not have a sense of honor or virtue. Nevertheless, I know you were at least born Roman. If you have a speck of honor left, confess and surrender.
Consul, what are you doing? You can't publicly execute people without trial. Our laws forbid such despotism.
As dictator, prescription is well within my rights. The people of Rome saw fit to grant me that power. Who are you to question the wisdom of the people? As long as Rome remains in crisis, I shall remain dictator. Your traitor friends are rightfully apprehended. If you want them, you'll have to go through me. It clearly isn't. You are still alive, aren't you? The Gauls were going to attack Rome eventually. I just made sure their attack took place on our terms. So what? A few granaries were burnt down and some people died. We have lost hundredfold more lives in countless wars and no objections were raised. Just like our courageous legionari, their deaths served the Republic. Unless your intention is to bore me to death, I would like to start executing these criminals.
This is horseshit! Those people are heroes!
They've done nothing wrong! Let them go!
You have lost your control, Lurko. Look at the faces of these people, your fellow citizens. They're afraid.
Only criminals and traitors should be afraid of me.
They're afraid of what you have turned the Republic into. That fear will turn into anger the moment anyone decides to stand up and protect the Republic.
You're a good tactician. Consider your position now. Your prisoners are the only advantage you possess. But they're only valuable while they're still alive. The Legatus can wait until you turn yourself into a murderer.
Or we can simply kill you and save them all. Then you will have achieved nothing here.
You wouldn't do that. You're men of law and order.
Do not let us take your vengeance away. Let us die in honor.
Believe me, I don't want to die. But I also don't want to see you dead.
Don't let him kill us like this. Whatever comes next, we will stand by your side. We will weather the storm as one.
Don't do it, my friend. If you strike him down now, you'll give him legitimate cause to kill you. We are not worth that sacrifice. They say you're not a true hero until you die.
Enough! Make your decision. As you wish. Who shall we take first?
Get it over with. Take me first. Then at least I won't have to listen to your drivel any longer.
You must not sacrifice yourself. He loves you. Survive for his sake. Kill me if you dare. I will go gladly to the afterlife. Perhaps I will finally meet my sister there.
Don't do it! This isn't justice!
I decide what is just. Execute him.
Oh, my brave friend. You deserved a more glorious death than this.
A traitor to the Republic has been brought to justice. I truly wonder what you will do now. Witnesses? Who's going to hold me responsible? I am dictator in perpetuo!
This is sick! It's an atrocity!
What's next? Will you have Pompeius executed too?
Calm yourselves! People of Rome, I am you... Don't you understand? A firm hand is what the Republic needs!
Despot! Tyrant! Down with him!
Get him! Put him down from there!
Get me out of here! Just get me out!
You're on your own, Consul!
Coward!
Webius Vitellius Lurko, you're not going anywhere! Throw yourself at the mercy of the Senate!
You can't do this. You don't have the authority. Don't you dare!
That is a style of rhetorics I can get behind.
You won. My friend, you did it.
I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. It is good to see you up and about, though. You look better.
Such things are natural. You've been tested physically and mentally. Furthermore, you've triumphed over your opponent. That much is certain. Your friends did not give their lives in vain.
In the end, Bestia's death made a greater difference than any of the lives he's ever taken.
I never thought he would offer up his life. Cineros really changed him.
Lurko will certainly be exiled, or even executed. The Senate doesn't have a high opinion of traitors. Obviously, you will have to testify. I know. You paid a heavy price to keep it that way.
If you will forgive me for bringing this up, I believe this will be good for your political career. Why not? You are the right age to begin the cursus honorum. All senators have to start somewhere. As far as the Senate is concerned, you are a tragic hero who brought a corrupt consul to justice. Regardless of what happens to Lurko, Rome will need a new consul. And I can't think of a better candidate.
Cato is right. Both the Optimates and the Populares already support you. If you run for Senate, the election will result in a landslide win.
I have no doubts.
You did save them. Those who remain alive have you to thank for it. This chapter ends, and another chapter begins. Fortuna alone knows what the future holds.
So ends the abridged history of one of the most beloved consuls of the Republic of Rome. It is thanks to him and his efforts to thwart the corruption and ambition of Vitellius Lurko that Rome remains a proud republic to this day. With his allies in the Senate, he worked tirelessly to address the problems that had plagued the Republic since its birth. Though many among the people of Rome lamented what they saw as a lost opportunity to challenge the status quo, the strengthening of democracy greatly improved life throughout the provinces of Rome. In time, the savior of the Republic took his well-deserved place in history among such heroes as Cincinnatus or Scipio Africanus. Unable to return to her family due to her crushing guilt, her travels instead pulled her further and further away from Rome, until one day she never returned to the city.
Truly, you are an interesting person. Very well, I respect your wish.
You did save them. Those who remain alive have you to thank for it. This chapter ends, and another chapter begins. Fortuna alone knows what the future holds.
Though many believed the savior of Rome would have been instantly elected for consul if he had chosen to run for the office, it seemed he had no appetite for political power any longer. Had his struggle against a rigid and corrupt system soured his view on the Republic? Or did he merely feel that his duty had finally come to an end, releasing him now to live a quiet and humble life and tend to his family's vineyards? We will never know. What is clear from the letters of Cicero is that though he was no longer directly involved in the politics of Rome, his virtuous example and his moral influence had set the Republic on a new course, one that would over the years lead to a strengthening of democracy and prosperity for patrician and plebeian alike. Rome, for a time at least, backed away from the temptation of empire and the threat of tyranny that always followed it. Calida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. With her beloved husband committed to letting her live her best life, she was happy to settle down by his side, supporting him in his endeavors as he supported her. Calida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits.
Drop your weapon, citizen. Step away from the consul. It pains me to say this, but you'll have to come with us.
Do as the Praetor says. There's not much I can do at this point.
Why did you do this?
Everything we've ever done. Was it all for nothing in the end?
It's a selfless act, Kaiser. The final sacrifice of the finest commander Rome has ever known. Don't count on it.
Let's go.
You look miserable. You don't smell like you've had a bath in a while.
I had a chat with Kato. He says not even Kikero can save you. Why did you do it? We were ready to die for you. Thank you.
I see no reason why we have to leave you in there. You may be waiting to be exiled, but they will never let you live. You're too dangerous. So, do you want to get out of here? Anywhere but here. There's no way I will let you go alone, honey. You're the only husband I haven't murdered. Yet.
Are you joking? Of course you would not be alone. Do you think I'd miss this adventure?
I must find my sister. From this point on, we shall walk different paths, my friend.
I will come with you. I was planning to leave Rome already, and wherever we go from here, I will be happy for your company.
I was hoping you'd say that.
All right, let's start some trouble.
The story of the selfless savior of Rome has long since passed into legend. It is easy these centuries later to forget that in his time he was regarded as a criminal and forced to flee Rome with his friends to escape execution. We are more familiar with his legacy, the towering example of loyalty and righteousness that he came to represent in the years following his exile. He was a servant of Rome who rose time and time again to defend the Republic in war and in politics. It was only at the very end, when the lives of his closest friends were threatened, that he turned his back on law and tradition. The example he set for his fellow Romans has endured to this day. It is said that he went on to become a wandering adventurer, an explorer of foreign lands. Stories appear in legends throughout the provinces of a band of traveling heroes who fought oppression and injustice wherever they went. It is widely believed these stories chronicle the life of the savior of Rome following his exile. But that is another kind of story for another time. Even though it began in exile, Calida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. Away from the rigid society of Rome, she flourished with her new husband. Together they traveled far and wide and had many more adventures until they found a place they liked enough to settle down. Calida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits.
You've done nothing wrong.
Enough, Caeso. He made his decision. We must respect it.
Wally, my friend, I will never forget you.
You did well. You did very well. Thank you.
Thank you for showing me the very best of Rome.
The spirits will remember you. The winds will sing your name in their songs. This is not the end.
The sacrifice of the savior of Rome has long since passed into legend. The historian's task is often to distill true events from the myths that are shared among people. But in this case, it proves nearly impossible to do so. It is said that the execution of Rome's savior led to 12 days of sorrow among its people. His corpse was taken from the temple by a mob stricken mad with grief and burned in the forum on a pyre built from the stolen furniture of every building on the Capitolium. Senators, eager to curry populist favor, declared his day of death to be a public holiday. Many built shrines of worship and reverence to their sacrificed hero. Whether these accounts are untrue or perhaps exaggerated, one thing is beyond doubt. Though he had given his life to do so, he had saved the Republic from the brink of tyranny and the temptation of empire. It is thanks to his noble sacrifice that our democracy has only grown stronger and that our Republic endures to this day. Devastated by the loss of her beloved, Calida left Rome in grief. She felt haunted by her past misdeeds, cursed to never find love and happiness again. She traveled north into Gallia, where she settled into a new life of hunting and forestry. In time, she did become happy there. She even found a new man to love, one who treated her well, who loved her for who she was, and who would never sacrifice what they had together for politics or ideals.